So imagine, if you will, that you just feel good inside. And then you're at work and you find out that one of your coworkers has stolen credit for one of the great ideas that fed into a project that you had come up with. And yet you still feel good inside. And then later in the week, your dog dies, but you still feel good inside. And you notice that your keys are gone and your car's been driven out of the garage, and then you get a report that your son has been in an accident. He's okay, but the car is totaled because he was out joyriding with his friends. Yet you still feel good inside. And then you get divorce papers. Your spouse doesn't want to live with you anymore. But you still feel good inside. Does that sound crazy? That is being imperturbable, where anything can happen to you, anything in your environment. And it isn't that you're stoic, you're not gritting your teeth and bearing it. It's that there's this feeling inside of you of peace and well-being that no matter what happens, you just feel good inside. Because every moment is good just as it is. That's imperturbability. Being imperturbable. Now, if that sounds ridiculous, and if you feel justified in thinking, well, I should have a reaction to these things. When somebody slights me, I have a right to think negative thoughts about that person. If my wife or husband divorces me or wants a divorce, I have a right to feel hurt. When my son or daughter takes my keys and goes and crashes my car when they didn't even ask for it, I have a right to be upset and to give them the third degree about it. Well, you may think you have the right, but where is that coming from? Why do you feel that way? What is it that compels you to believe it's okay and therefore you're justified in having negative feelings? It's probably, I think, that we are so conditioned to seeing the reactions around us from infanthood that when a certain effect happens, then we provide a certain response. And we're so used to doing that because we've done it for so long and we've seen others do it for so long. And everything that we see around us gives us a reason to justify the shitty ways that we feel. But what if you didn't have to feel that way? What if you could actually feel good in every moment, no matter what came your way? Wouldn't that be worth something? Wouldn't that be a lot better than having your emotions fluctuate up and down based on what's going on around you in your environment? No matter how awesome and great it is, or how debasing or embarrassing or how bad it is. Wouldn't that be cool? Just to feel good. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't take proper action associated with whatever the situation is to maybe mitigate some problem or help some issue out, or to work things out with a friend or a lover or whatever. But what it means is that you're coming from a place of peace joy, compassion, instead of reacting out of fear, anger, sadness, and low self-worth. I personally think imperturbability is a goal worth achieving. And the releasing technique that I've been going over here and there through these videos, by doing those regularly, you can become more and more imperturbable, where things that happen in your environment don't get to you like they used to. And you can have that peace even though there's something happening that used to really bother you, and now it doesn't. I think this is something that if everyone made it a goal, the whole planet would be a better place to live. Because even though people are still going to be in that path of reaction to things, the fact that they're realizing that it's not necessary, that they can actually overcome those things and actually feel good regardless of what's happening around them. And it isn't even feeling good despite those things happening. It's feeling good because everything that happens in every moment just is as it is, and it's okay. Your dog will go to dog heaven. Your car is destroyed, but if you have to live without one, well, maybe that's something that will help you to learn something different, something new. Or maybe there's a reason, another reason, or maybe there's no reason at all. Maybe it just happened. And moment by moment, you can just have it happen and just let it go. Actually, 99% of the problems that we face are not necessarily because there is a problem, but because we make it a problem by resisting it. In other words, if you take two people and you have them subject to the same stimulus, the same problem, one of them may get in a heinous reaction to it, and the other person, it may not bother them at all. Well, why is that? It could be because one of them has developed a reaction to certain patterns and stimulus that this particular event represents, and the other one never developed that pattern. And so the releasing technique actually helps to overcome those patterns from the past that causes us to react in ways that really aren't helping us, because they're just reinforcing the negative energy that causes us to be unhappy. So imperturbability, I believe that's something very worthwhile, if not the most important thing, to attain in life. To be happy pretty much all the time. It's not to say that you don't feel other emotions, but they're all based in peace, and there's an underlying joy, because feelings come and go, but there's this solidity, this groundedness in peace and joy that just never leaves. That's where I'm headed. Will you join me?